Hey, what's up, everybody? Going to go through my models again today. Got the results from yesterday here. We'll go through those first. So the model went 38 out of 50 on money lines on college. It got 17 of the top 18 picks for Moneyline. The confidence is here, confidence and confidence tier. So of the high ones, we only missed Texas Tech losing at home to TCU. Missed two mediums. Utah State lost to UNLV. UCF lost at home to Oklahoma State. Those were the only two medium conference ones. The rest were all the low confidence. So as you can see, we actually missed 8 of the last 14 here. So other than that, we only missed 4 of 32 of the top. So 28 out of 32 on the top. It's a pretty good day if you want to look at the spreads and the totals. So yesterday on spreads, the model was 30 of 50, 60%. And on totals, it was 26 out of 50, so 52%. Games that got both correct were 18. Games that got both wrong were 12, which leaves 30 games or 20 games that had one of each. So on this one, the confidence score is going to be this column right here. As you can see, did miss 4 of the top 6, but then we did get 22 of the next 26. So not good at the very top. Some of these are smaller schools. As I've said, sometimes it's situational things. A player gets hot, a player gets in foul trouble. Teams just don't play how they should. They don't have as much backup that they can put in to cover as the bigger schools. But still, not bad. There was a lot of small schools, and it did pretty well overall yesterday. So this is the spread and totals. I'll go down if you want to check out which games it was. You can pause the video if you see one that you want. Actually, let me make this a little easier for you. If you want to see a certain game, I'll sort it by the teams, and you can actually see. So here we had 5 games where all was correct, 1 incorrect, 2 that were incorrect, and 3 others with both correct. So it was reading individual games correct yesterday. It was just getting some of them wrong. As you can see, not necessarily all small schools, not necessarily all big schools. So you want to find games that you do like when you're going through this. If you have any questions about anything, so these are some of the things that it's seeing in the game that it likes, that's supporting the matchup when it says supported. Otherwise, some of them may be a little bit mixed. May just not have the win-loss coverage that it wants from these drivers. But that's what we did on college. Let's go back here, and we got NHL. We went 8 of 11 yesterday. The bottom one did flip by day 7. The day 7 was correct. So on day 7 picks, it would have been 9 of 11. So pretty good day on NHL again. The model's been doing pretty well since the All-Star break, or the Olympics for them. And then on basketball, money lines, the NBA went 8 of 10. So 80% there. Pretty good day. Did miss on Detroit and did miss on, it had flipped from San Antonio to Philly. Obviously, Embiid didn't play. I think Kelly Oubre sat too. So they were missing some players. They got blown out pretty bad. So from there, let's just go ahead and get into today's games. I'm sure that's what you're most interested in. So for college, top pick is going to be SIU Edwardsville. They are playing Eastern Illinois. The fact that it's missing some games, I think this might be one of the tournament games. Those are getting started now. So the high confidence will be all of these games right here. You can see the different score predictions for the different days for the last 7 days if the matchup was already in there. So you're going to want to look, if it's above 50 right here in the brackets, you want this number to get bigger to support the home team. If you're supporting the away team, you want the number to get smaller. So I guess either way, you want the number to get bigger to support the home, smaller to support the away. It's just favored if it's over 50 or less than 50 for the away team. Hopefully that made sense. So SIU Edwardsville, St. Louis, Long Island, Oral Roberts, those are the top picks for today. Some of these, the confidence does build up based on the prediction movement. So with less days to predict, the movement is going to be less, most likely. So that will probably bump the confidence up on these unintentionally, just because there's less prediction days than the others. So for the ones that are missing, you may want to look at those just a little bit more, make sure it makes sense to you as well. We do have some of the medium ones now. We got North Texas down to SMU. So a couple DFW schools there on both ends. Most of those games do have all of it. Just going to be missing this Eastern Kentucky and the Robert Morris. We'll be missing some predictions in there. And then the rest will be the lower confidence. So these are ones that you want to check out a little bit more. Make sure everything's making sense. It could be lower confidence because the model's just not getting a good read. It could be lower confidence just because both teams have a really good chance at winning it or a really good chance at losing it, depending on how they play. So those are all of the college for today. I guess we can get into the spreads and totals if you want. So this will be in order. These are the top picks. That's how it's ordered right now. So I will leave it there for a second. If you want to pause the video, check it out in that order. And then just to make it a little easier, we will go through these on the schools. That way you can look. It'll be ordered in alphabetical order by the away team now. So we got Baylor up there. It has them predicted to hold that 15-point spread against Houston and the game to go over. The scores on those are not super high, so it's not incredibly confident, but that's the way the model's leaning on those. All the way down here to Milwaukee and Detroit Mercy. Let me scroll on down. Like I said, just pause the video if you're needing any of these games. I'm not going to go through each one of these. I haven't researched all of them, so I'd be just blowing smoke if I was trying to give you my predictions on all of these games anyway. So that's what we have for the spreads and the totals in today's games. Let me get back to these. And here are the NBA predictions for today. We do have the Clippers up at the top over Indiana for the top confidence, down to Portland over Memphis for the lowest confidence. Memphis did play yesterday. Let's see, New York and OKC both played yesterday. Charlotte played yesterday. So a lot of these teams did play yesterday. There was a couple flips. This one started Utah on day one, but it's been Philly most of the week. I would definitely not expect Utah to win, not even really to hang close. But they did get Keontae George back. Not sure what's going on with Markkanen, if he's coming back or anything. So then this bottom one just flipped 2 days ago. Like I said, Memphis did just play last night, and they got beat. So I don't know that. I think I might lean Portland still on this one, but not sure. Super low confidence, so the model's not even entirely sure. And then New York and OKC, it just flipped to OKC today. So if OKC is healthy, that would make things a lot better on their end. But they tried to give up that game last night against Toronto, and they ended up just pouring it on at the end. But they let Toronto back in for a second. And OKC I don't even remember who they played, but they let whoever they played right back in right at the end. So that's what we got for the NHL. And then we'll just look at the college or the NHL real quick. There's only 5 games today. All of the games except for the top game have flipped at some point during the week. The bottom game has been flipping all week long. So not a whole lot of confidence there. These scores, like I said, since a lot of hockey games average just around that 3-4 point mark, the scores end up being really, really tight. So you just want to look at how far the difference is in that decimal. Obviously, 3 to 3 isn't very much, but the 3.4 to 3.1 or whatever, the bigger gap in there. And then again, if you want to watch the numbers in the parentheses, you just want to see which way they're going. If they're all going in one direction, that's a good sign. It means the model is building confidence towards that team that it is picking. So if you have any other questions or if you want any other data, I have other models. I have props, things like that I do run. I just don't go through all the videos or anything like that. So let me know what you want, what you need, and I'll try to help you out. And good luck.